How we doing, everybody? DommyGun Richie here for a Sunday Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody's having a good one so far. Seems like the weather's holding up here in New York. I hope it is holding up by you. I was hoping for a couple guests today, but it looks like either they're late or they're not showing up. So I did get a request to send a leak, but I can't do it. And I'm looking for my boy DJ to do it for me. But be that as it may, hope everybody's doing good. First of all, let me start off with quick little Memorial Day. I know people get the Memorial Day thing confused, and I did too for years, to be honest with you. I don't even know why they just differentiate it between the two. But technically, Veterans Day is to thank the troops, and Memorial Day is to honor the ones who died in battle. And I don't know if that's technically correct, but even those who I would say died from complications of the war too should be thought about in the same thing. For instance, our President Biden's son had a cancer from doing a couple tours in Afghanistan, and they attributed it to the gases and all that kind of stuff. So not that he's the only one but just a name that's more famous that comes to mind. So anyhow, we just wanted to mention that a lot of people have died. For us to be able to do stuff like this on YouTube, no matter who we agree with and who we don't agree with, one thing we have to agree with is that without our troops, we're nothing. And, thanking the troops, there's nothing wrong with thanking the troops also today because thankfully they came home, right? And I know they've seen a lot of things and probably lost a lot of buddies too over the course. So that's my little Memorial Day thing. I don't want to call it a rant, because it is Memorial Day, but that's how it goes. Second off, not more important, but more on a happy note, I should say, is with Who-Bangin Sports Talk, and I know I talk for the whole low bear community when I'm going to mention this, is we all congratulate Mr. Big Ragoo 62 and his lovely wife Kelly on 40 years married. It's hard to do that, man. I'll tell you, how it's hard to hit like a 5, 6, 8 team parlay? Well, that's like hitting a 40 team parlay. But we love those guys. They're just as a couple, a role model to a lot of us. You guys all know how we feel about Big Ragoo, as you guys all do too. So we just wanted to, before we get too sappy here, we just wanted to say congratulations to Big Ragoo 62 and Kelly enjoying their anniversary down in Florida. Hope there's many more coming, and again, love you guys, and I will speak to you soon. Let's get on with some baseball for today. If DJ shows up, maybe we'll get some UFL in. I also sent the leak out to another UFL player. Let's see if he can come in. I don't want to mention that he might come on. If he don't come on, I want to mention who it is. But it'll be a nice surprise if he does. But in the future, we will get this cat on. He's not just a UFL capper, that's for sure. So that's how we're doing this today. Memorial Day. Well, technically it's tomorrow, right? Memorial Day. All right, let's get into some baseball. Yesterday, we didn't have a bad day. Gave out a couple picks on the show. Matter of fact, I didn't check to see how DJ's picks did with the UFL. But we, and I'm going to call him while we're talking. What we did yesterday, we did get, listen, sometimes I talk about the right cap, wrong result. Well, yesterday I had the wrong cap, right result, straight up. I was totally wrong about Severino and how he was going to pitch. Actually, I was wrong about Stroman, too. Man, that's the game I lost. But just get with the Mets. I did have the Giants team total over 3.5. Severino goes 7 innings, pitched a great game. I think he let up maybe 1 earned. That was it. He didn't walk many. I'm just surprised that Severino. I'm not surprised that he's doing good, and I like the pickup. First of all, it was a year contract. It wasn't for a lot of money. I thought it was a good pickup for the Mets because of their situation in the at the beginning of the year of the starting pitching anyway. So, but I didn't think he's going to continue to get better and better, and he has. I mean, he had a little rough start. With that's expected, and it's expected with some of these veteran pitchers, but I'll tell you, what he's been doing surprised me yesterday. And you guys know I'm a Met fan. I follow this team, religiously, and they just again, he pitched a great game. But what happened? The right part of my cap was that the Giants are just killing the Pens. That the Giants are scoring late, and they did. They got that game into the 9th inning, tied up. Hit the 10th inning. They just opened it up. They went way over the 3. I think the final score might have been 7-2. But they did ended up dominating that game. They just ran over the Mets. Another game the Mets were ahead and lost. That's another thing. Keep in mind. They're losing games that they're ahead in. The pen is not doing what it's supposed to do. I was also wrong that Diaz wouldn't pitch yesterday, and he did pitch. But I won't be wrong about that today because he pitched Friday. He pitched Saturday. Also, the other guy I like in the pen, Reed Garrett, had a blow-up on Friday. But Adam Ottavino, on the other hand, yes, they did come in and pitch well. But the Mets, again, and the Mets are starting to hit the ball. If you notice, they're starting to break out a little bit. Lindor is starting to break out a little bit. I'm a Starlin Marte fan. He always seems to come up big in the clutch. The guy has a rifle arm that no one talks about. He throws guys out left and right. Watch some highlights of the Met game yesterday. You see, 2 dynamite throws. One throwing the guy out at second, and one where anybody else they would have scored from third, but they just held up. And the rifle he threw in, the man would have been out by 2-3 feet. So I do like that about the Mets. But Alonso, and you guys see me on my Twitter. I have him on my little thing on Twitter. I'm a Pete Alonso fan. I've always been a Pete Alonso fan. Jesus, I was there that night he broke the home run record when it was the in that rookie year. As a matter of fact, our friend, another old low bagger, Ricky March, was with us, with me and my girl that night. I still have a video of it. I got to try to post that one of these days. I have to give my phone to DJ and do it. As you guys know, I'm not the technical guy at Who-Bangin, that's for sure. But listen, anyhow, get back. Losing my train of thought. Anyhow, getting back to the Mets. They Pete Alonso, just again yesterday, he's men on base. He flies out. He made an error in extra innings that it was either the 9th inning or it was the 10th, where it was a double play ball. One run might have scored, but it was a double play ball that he completely botched, and it ended up causing the Giants to just blow out the Mets again. So keep your eye on that about the Mets. They're losing games late in the games. Conversely, the Giants are now tied with the Braves at 5 wins from the 7th inning on when behind. So the Braves have done it 5 times. The Giants have done it 5 times so far this year, with coming from behind in the 7th inning and winning. As far as coming from behind in games in general, I believe the Orioles are still the top in the league on both American and National League. I believe they still hold the edge in comeback wins. So another thing to keep your eye on. These are the little things in baseball that we have to keep our eye on. So I did hit that team total over 3.5. The other bet that I did hit was the Aaron Nola recorded outs under 18.5. He went the full 6, and listen, that's not hard. That's not easy to do in Coors. I know he's done it. He went 7 the time before that at Coors. I believe he went the full 7, or he went 19 out, something like that. He went into the 7th. And I know Nola's been going deep into games and stuff, but it's just hard to keep on doing that at Coors. So I thought it was a good shot at taking that under 18.5. And that's hit for us. What didn't hit was the Yankees over. They did win 4-1, but Seattle did not contribute in that game. So that's where we stood yesterday. And we're gonna go on to today. Let me just check the chat. Don Player in the house. Don, what's up, man? It is good to see you, man. Let's DM me. Let's DM. We'd like to get you back on with us. We love seeing you. I didn't look at any like WNBA games or anything like that, Don. If you've been checking that out, all right, let me know. Damien, what's happening, man? Good to see you. I had a hard time doing the link thing, man. I was hoping DJ was gonna come on. He probably oversleeping. I even text him to send the link out, but sorry about that, man. I can't do it while I'm doing the show, and you know me. If anyone, you're in the chat with me every day. You know, I'm not, like I said, the technical guy here. So, anyhow, be that as it may. I'm on a couple games. Let's do it quick. We won't stay on too long. If you guys are on any plays, let me know. I will put them up there. I will talk about them. The first game, let me get my bearings straight here. A game did start already, and I left that game out. I was considering even betting the under in this game because it started so early. But I tell you, that's blown up in my face a few times with early starts. Especially in basketball. I've tried that route a couple times, taking unders in college basketball on those noon starts and stuff. And I tell you, just because it's early, you think maybe it's going to be a slow start. You take the first half under. It hasn't worked, man. Sometimes you think that the reasoning that the early start might be slow is starting because of the time, right? Guys ain't ready. Their body clock is off, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes that affects the defense more than the offense. And it's something that I've stopped doing, but that's how it goes. But right now it's 0-0, but it's only they're only into the bottom of the first. So anyhow, but let's go over a couple games today that I'm on, and we'll get out of here just quickly. At 12:10, in about 20 minutes, the Dodger-Cincinnati game is starting. They switched the pitches again. It happened a couple times today. I seen pitches listed last night that aren't on them this morning. I thought Abbott was pitching for Cincinnati. Brent Sutter is pitching for Cincinnati today. He is going against Yamamoto. I have no feel in this game. I don't know what's going on with the Dodgers. Listen, a lot of these guys are playing. I'll get to that, Darryl. I'm on that game, but I'm a little worried about that. The Dodgers, man, a lot of these big-time teams that we think were going to be, juggernauts so far. I mean, it's early in the year. We know that. But the Braves aren't playing Braves ball. The Dodgers aren't playing dodgeball. And look at the Texas Rangers. They can't win a game. They've been playing terrible, and I expected a slow start with them, but I didn't think it was going to continue like this. I think they lost like 9 out of 11 or something, maybe 10 out of 11. I don't know. They lost a lot of games lately, and even the Diamondbacks, we haven't seen them yet start doing what they did last year. But again, it was second half when they did that. So that's just a couple of things that we got to keep our eye out. You know how baseball is; it's so tricky, it's so up and down and tricky. So that's how kind of I look at it. The Seattle Washington game, I did not see Corbin listed last night. He is pitching today. I like Brian Wu a lot. He don't pitch that deep into games, but he has, he has been coming, little by little. I feel like he's pitching a little bit, more pitching and getting a little bit better and better. I like him a lot as a pitcher. I back him usually a lot. This Corbin, I tell you, I did back Corbin in one game this year where he just, slapped me in my face. But he's been pitching pretty decent this year. I don't know, I don't know why. But I mean, he hasn't been the awful Patrick Corbin as of late. He's going pretty deep into games. He's at least going into the sixth inning. I think let's see. He's averaging. He's averaging 2.1 walks a game. That's his last 10 game average. That's not too bad. Of course, the strikeouts only three strikeouts to 2 walks, which we don't like to see. But still, only giving up 2 walks is his control is a little bit better, and his ERA, believe it or not, is 3.8 over 10 games. That's a little surprising. I would I like Seattle today. I don't like the number. I did consider the under 9. I think the 9 is a little high. I don't know what the first 5 is. I didn't look at it quick, but I don't know if it's in that 5. If it's 5, I wouldn't really hate it. But anyway, I'm off that game. Martin Perez, the guy's been pitching forever, is pitching for Pittsburgh against Chris Sale in Atlanta. Again, I don't know what's going on with Atlanta. I mean, I would think that Atlanta is the play, but they're minus 230. So I can't just see any way to back Sale, like maybe in a recorded outs or a strikeout. Just too tough. Sundays are a tough day, man. I did have 2 good Sundays, the last 2, but the 3 before that were horrendous. So, just tough. Let's just go with the games that I am on. And the first one is San Francisco Mets. I'm going back to that game again today. I don't, listen, you guys know I'm a Met homer, but I don't bet a lot of Mets outright. And I don't always bet their games a lot, but I do have a good feel a lot of times with them. But I did bet this game today. I have a feeling that this game could be a lot like yesterday. Might be a slow starting. Might be, a good pitching duel to start out. I mean, listen, I'm a Manaea fan. Manaea is another one like Severino, has done well for us this year. He's pitched pretty good, man. And Logan Webb, he's a ground ball pitcher. He's known for that. But I'll tell you, his last outing was against Pittsburgh, and even though he did have a decent outing in that game, he still let up a lot of ground balls. Ground ball rate at the end of the game was 50%. Why do I mention that? Is because the Pirates are in that ground ball percentage. They're like in the top 3 in the league. So for him to they hit a lot of those type of balls. So for him to have a 50% rate against a ground ball team like the Pirates kind of makes me wonder a little bit. And also he does give up a little bit of that sharp contact. So it's something that we gotta keep our eye on with him, because his like hard hit rates and his things like that. Those type of offensive numbers, they're pretty high on him. I thought I had it written down the exact number, but he is off a 103 pitch game. He did pitch 6 full innings, so he had the quality start. But again, he did let up 3 earned runs and a few walks. But the Mets, for some reason, have been hitting a little bit better. Mets have been hitting righties, same as San Francisco, hitting lefties, which Manaea is. And all said and done, I went with the over 7.5. Both these pens are been used. Diaz was is not going to pitch today. I was wrong that he wouldn't pitch yesterday, like I mentioned in the opening. He did pitch Friday. He did pitch Saturday. I don't think he's going to pitch on today, obviously. And I think this 7.5 is a low number. I think that we could get to it. We might get to it late. We might not. But Sean Manaea's numbers, he's allowing almost 3 walks a game. 2.53, so he's a little bit over that 2.5. He is allowing almost 4.5 hits per game. Same with his strikeouts, and he's not pitching that deep into game. He's going about 15 outs, every game. And to be honest with you, his closing recorded outs prop last game was 16.5 and he went 15. But before that he went 18, then 15, 14, 15, 11. So you never know how deep he's going to go. If they get if he don't go deep, if they get a couple runs off him, they pull him out, and they get into that pen early, the Giants could really tack on some runs like they have been doing. let's see what Sean's. He's 0-1 at home but 2-1 in the daytime as far as his splits. I went with the over 7.5. I'm making this cap more complicated than I have to be. I took the over 7.5 minus 114. The other game I took 2 bets on this game, and that is the KC Rays game. Walker against Bradley. Bradley's last outing, 10 Ks against the Red Sox. Not bad. He's 23 Ks in 18 innings of work. So he hasn't pitched a lot yet. He hasn't gone had that many innings under his belt. And Waka, the old time veteran, Waka pitching for KC. And listen, there's not much too bad to say about KC. They're starting to heat up, I think. They're starting to. They're definitely hitting righties well. They definitely have an advantage, I think, today overall in bats. I think Walker, I don't know. Is he the better pitcher today? I don't know. But I do know that Bradley, one thing about Bradley, he gives up a lot of hard contact like I was talking about in the last game. He does have his his numbers with his velo and his hard hit percentage are up there with Bradley. So, yes, he does strike out a lot of guys, but he also leaves that ball over the plate a couple times too often, and that hard hit contact, is not something you want with a team like Kansas City, who just, they just keep on hitting. I think I like the way they're put together. I like their pitching staff. Out of all of them, I probably like Waka the least, but I thought the 7.5 was low, and I think KC's the better team in this. I took KC plus 102. And the over 7.5 in that game, minus 124. Next game I got 2 more games. The next game I took was the Yankees. I went back with the over 8. Like I said, I took it yesterday. It was a 4-1 final. I went with, today I went with the over in the game. I didn't take the Yankees outright. Even though I think Clark Schmidt is the better pitcher. Schmidt, you never know. He's not the most reliable guy in the world, I guess. Let's. I'll try to pull up some of his number. I just have a feeling that Clark Schmidt could get hit today, especially after San Diego's another pitcher. I was wrong about Stroman yesterday. I was saying that there's another one I thought the Padres could get to, and they didn't. He pitched a good game. So listen, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I don't know if I'm going to be wrong today. We got Musgrove on the mound. Musgrove had that. He had the injury, right, and he came back his first game off the injury. He only went 3 innings. He didn't have the worst performance, but again, it was off the injury. He only went 3 innings. He had, 1 earned run, 3 hits, but he still has an ERA over 6. But the Padres do well against righties. Clark Schmidt, I'm going to try to pull up his numbers, but the Yankees overall have been crushing righties. Let's face it, the Yankees have been crushing righties and lefties. But I can see the Padres maybe getting a couple runs in here today. I thought the over 8 was a little bit low. I mean, listen, the way the Yankees play, I said it yesterday, they could hit that over 7.5 themselves. And, they could hit this over 8 themselves the way they play sometimes. I can't see I don't see this game being such a low-scoring game like it was yesterday. Let's check the weather before we check about Clark Smith. Let's just see what happened, because the weather is an issue in the last game we're going to talk about, and that's Daryl's Cardinals game. But let's just go to this Yankee game. So the wind, not much to talk about. 10 miles an hour blowing across the field, so nothing that's going to really affect us at all. And the KC game, the dome is closed, so that's not going to affect us. The Met game, the weather, the wind is blowing out a little bit into left and center field, but not a lot of wind, so not no big deal. But you want the weather for what game, David? What game you talking about? You want the weather for? Let me just finish this Yankee thing up. I took the Yankees over 8 in this game. like I said, I was going to take the Yankees. The line is a little bit low. It almost makes me wonder why. I thought the line should be even higher, to be honest with you. It gives me a little pause that what that line is in the Yankee game because of Musgrove. He's not been pitching well. The Yankees have been hitting, so that line kind of gives me a little. I don't know. I feel like it's a little low. So I think the safer bet is the over 8. It did open up at 8.5 and went down to 8. So I that makes me just like it even more. Clark Smith, let's go. His last 10, he's averaging 6 strikeouts. He's averaging 16.7 outs. So he's going through, 5-15. He's going into that 6th inning. Not really completing it, but going into it. He has allowing 4.6 hits. He's allowing 1.7 walks. So that he's done good. His last game was, let's see what his last game was. Oh, I can't find that. Forget that part. Let's just go with the Yankees over 8. That's going to be my play for that. In the last game I am on, and this game I'm kind of wondering about now what to do. This Cubs Cardinals game, as I capped it last night and stuff, I like the under first 5. It's at minus 124. The first 5 unders 4.5 at minus 125. But I believe there's some big strong wind going out today at the in the Cubs. You guys got the weather for the Cubs? Am I right? Isn't it wind blowing out 20-25 miles an hour or something? Let's see. I mean, you see that in Chicago. It's tough to. Oh, but wait, let's see. Chicago, St. Louis. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I must have been looking at something. I wonder what I was looking at 1925. Because sometimes I list the next days, too. So I was wrong about the weather part. So I'm sticking with that. I mean, it says 10 miles an hour blowing out between center and left. Humidity, 83 degrees Fahrenheit, but a 50% chance of precipitation. I'm going to stick with my original thought, and I am going to lock in the Cubs, Cardinals, first 5, under 4.5. I like Sonny Gray. He's a good guy. He had 5. He's off of 5 no-hit hitting pitch performance. He's 4-1 overall. St. Louis has been rolling, the last 2 weeks. So, I kind of even like the Cards, but 3-13 in the last game of series. That's interesting that they're not playing well in the last game of the series. I was talking about, since you brought that up, I was talking about sweeps and teams that like KC today, okay? I think that price on KC is off plus 102, right? And I think what happens is, I know what happens is, when teams are going for sweeps, you get better lines. I mean, because of the probability of them winning that 3rd game or that 4th game. Usually it's the 3rd game. But that's the reason why, just over probability, you get a good. If you like that's not a reason to bet, just bet a sweep. But if you happen to like the team and they're going for a sweep, sometimes you get a better number. And I think that's the situation with KC today. That reminded me when Julian mentioned about the Cardinals. I'll tell you something. That's an interesting stat, though. They're not performing. What's going on with them? Are they thinking about the next game? Are they managing different? Are they resting players? That's something to dive into a little bit. I'm writing that down. I like that, Julian. That's coming up with a good stat, man. That's coming up with a very good stat. Let's see. Let's see what else you're on, brother. Cubs and Guardians for you today. Yeah, I like the Guardians also today. I didn't put them. I was trying not to put a lot of games in today. I was trying to do the old time thing, see if I could hit that early game and then add some kind of late game, things like that. Because Sundays are just so tricky. So I stuck with that, but I do like the Guardians today. I think listen, that team, every time you think that team is going to start, falling apart a little bit, they don't. So they've been playing well. Let me see. Let's see. Don Player wants to know about. Okay, you were giving me San Diego weather. Okay, I got you, brother. I got you. Let's see. Don Player. The Seattle game. Listen, I talked about Brian Wu. That might not be a bad play either. I don't know how. The problem is, I don't know how. Wu don't pitch that deep, but Seattle's pen has been good. So I don't mind that play at all. Let me pick that up a little quickly, and let's just pick that up quickly here. When I'm doing the shows, I'll tell you the best site to do like quick stuff like this is Covers. The old standby, man. Covers.com. They're general. They don't go deep into a lot of things, but they've gotten better with that stuff too. And it's just the way they have it set up. It's very easy. I recommend it to like a lot of new guys that are asking us questions about this and that. I always mention Covers. It's the first thing I ever heard about when I heard you could find stats and stuff on the internet. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, what? We could find out information on the games and all that. Covers was one of the first sites to really do that. I remember at one time I used to call it the Bible. So, yeah, that's. Let me see if I can put up my banner. There it is. There's my banner. That's the games I'm on today. So, as far as that Seattle game with Washington, yeah, I'll tell you, I'm not afraid to go against Patrick Corbin, Don. So, listen. If you ask me to make a play on that game under and over, I'm taking a shot with the under. Actually, I kind of thought the first 5 might be even a little better of a shot because there's a good chance Wu could shut them down. And if Seattle just, if Corbin could just keep them to a few runs, that first 5 might be the way to go. But I don't mind that play at all. But anyhow, getting back to what we were doing. Those are my games for today. KC plus 102, over 7.5, minus 124. Yanks over 8, minus 110. Mets over 7.5, minus 114. St. Louis first 5, under 4.5, minus 125. Those are my bets. We got a lot of things coming up, and I was like, again, if DJ come up, I would have him throw up the flyer, or if boy Ix Snizzle would have came on, and Jimmy Gomez, I would have had them throw up the flyer since I don't know how to do that shit. But the first Who-Bangin event coming up. Listen. I'm gonna do like a little promo of it, but I gotta do my little rant, and maybe maybe we could use it if we cut this. But my feelings, and guys know me. I might have a big mouth, but I'm always honest with what I got to say. And some people don't like it. And, it is what it is. But if you ask me, the low bag community, which we started, it's going in on 8 years now. I feel like a little bit, and it happens. It just happens organically, but it could also reverse itself. I just feel like it's splintered apart a little bit, not a lot. We all still care about each other. But we don't talk to each other as much as we used to. I know. In my case, and I'm guilty of it. So I'll talk about myself. I can do a better job of that. But the old school low baggers, and all the new guys that joined us afterwards, it means a lot. We don't differentiate. I don't differentiate just because someone, has been around for, 8 years or 8 months. To me, you're part of the, especially at Who-Bangin. You're part of the Who-Bangin family. Once you join the family, you join the family. It doesn't matter how long or whatever. But get back to the low baggers and events. The longest low bag channel. Let's be frank. The Who-Bangin Sports has been around almost from the inception of the low bag community and the start of back in the old SBR days with Jimmy the Bag and Peter Loshak. How we all melded together, and you guys all know the story from there. But as me and DJ have been talking, and the guys, Ix Nizzle and Jimmy and Damon and everybody, Guillermo, Ragu, Nasty 8, all of us, we all feel like it's time to get the whole low bag community back together, all at one. Not this site, that site. It's Who-Bangin Sports. We've been the main staple, and we continue to be the main staple. And we're going to take the ball and run with getting that low bag community back tight as we could ever get it. Get the new guys mixed in with the old guys, and let's start, getting together and doing some different things, because we've done it in the past, and there's no better thing than that. First event, we're going to have 2 this year. The second one we'll bring up, we'll we'll talk. We're still trying to get together some things, but right now it's an official. Our first event is official, September 27th in Las Vegas, Nevada. The destinations in Las Vegas will be, are yet to be determined. Trying to work out some different things and stuff, and trying to get, we're just starting to put it out there. So we got to get a feel on what's going on and who's there and things like that. But hosted by Jimmy Gomez, X-Nizzle, and DJ Big Boss, we are doing the first official live sweat get together in Las Vegas for the Cleveland Browns Las Vegas Raiders football game, along with some other events that are being planned, like a UNLV game, like maybe a poker tournament. We have we're trying to get together a couple spots where we can have dinner all together, breakfast together, things like that. So that's what's going on in Las Vegas. Put it down if you can make it. That'll be great. We're going to do another one, but we'll get to more details about that. But that'll be in the first weekend of November with the Breeders' Cup. But right, and we'll get more detail about that, because we're going to try to get maybe a block of room or a couple of Airbnbs for that. We've had some good turnout so far for that. So I think they're both going to be great events, man. If you want to have some fun, go out to Vegas. If you're out in Vegas already, meet up with the boys in September, man. You'll have no more fun than seeing the live sweat crew. Those guys are great, man. They really have done a lot for Who-Bangin Sports, and we just love having them. They've been on every Tuesday night, and they continue to be on every Tuesday night. And I'll tell you something right now. I missed a lot of Tuesday nights because I was committed with a family thing, which actually just ended last Tuesday. So hopefully now I could come on and meet them, not meet them, but come on and support them more than I have been. But those guys have been doing great on that live sweat, and it's been profitable. Guys that have been watching that show, guys that have been following that show, know that they've done really well with the, especially with the NBA. During the season. So. If you guys are out in Las Vegas, you want to meet the guys, I'll tell you, it'd be a blast, and you know how Who-Bangin, how we roll. So, again, that's September 27th. It's the whole weekend. Dates and times and places will all be known, but just it's something to put down on your calendar. And any questions you have, you reach out to DJ Big Boss. He can tell you, probably answer any question you have, or X-Nizzle, because he's, those are the guys hosting it. So those are the guys, and Jimmy Gomez. So you reach out to them. They'll give you any information you need. But we'll let you know. We'll as soon as we know everything and everything is finalized, we will let you know. But I just want to put it out there because I love those guys. I think what they do for us is tremendous, and they deserve to have a nice little opening event. They're the first ones to have the first event for Who-Bangin Sports Talk, so that's an official event, and hope you guys come out and support it. So that's where we are at. So that's where we're at, guys. I will stop my my yammering. I will get to some baseball today. You guys see what my picks are? Yes, I'm reading the chat. Sorry, guys. Yeah, Julian, I tell you, to be frank, I can't make both because we're only a month away. So, and I am hosting the Breeders' Cup one, so that's going to be I'm going to be out there in November this year. Obviously, I wish I could make both. But we kind of had to split it up into two events this year, so that's just the way it's going to be. But I'll tell you, a lot of those guys are going to be out there. So if I'm not sure where you come from, Julian, but if you're out there, yeah, and if you're not, either one, we'd be glad to see you, or at both. So especially if you live out there. But yeah, that's how it is. All right, guys, let's get out of here again. Memorial Day, keep the troops in mind that lost their lives in battle. L.A. So L.A. Cali means, Julian, you can be at both, my brother. We expect that now from you. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you always stopping in too, man. The support means a lot to us. So anyhow, like I said, Memorial Day, keep the troops in mind, you know. And I know people get like I said, the holidays confused. So what? You should always thank guys that been in the service anyhow, man. They always deserve a thankful. You don't need a holiday to do that, right? So anyway, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate you guys. I will stop my rambling. Time to light it up, as the show says. And we will be back during the week. Who knows? Maybe even tomorrow we'll do a quick light it up. I didn't look at the schedule yet for baseball. Let's see. MLB scores and matchups. Tomorrow, May 27th. Do we have a big slate of games or what here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games tomorrow. Oh, a couple new series starting tomorrow. Philly at the Giants. So now keep in mind now, the Giants, keep in mind this now, you know what, for tomorrow. Philly's coming out of the Rockies. I've been betting these teams coming out of the Rockies. I've been going against the good teams that leave the Rockies. I did it with the Padres. They lost. And it was against the Giants, as a matter of fact. And I might have even been the Giants, the other team. But there's been 3 teams so far this year that I've won with betting just because it's their first game after cause without no rest. That's the key. No rest. Playing today, playing tomorrow is a good angle. Keep your eye on that. Philly's playing San Francisco. But San Francisco is also flying back from New York after this game today. And San Francisco played extra innings yesterday. They played 2 extra inning games in Pittsburgh, the series before that. So keep your eye on that. There might be a lot of runs scored in that game tomorrow in San Francisco, actually. I don't know if my theory might hold up with the San Francisco Phillies. You know, that in theory, the Phillies should lose that game. But with San Francisco traveling, what I have to look at with those 3 games that I did win was those teams home already, or did they also fly? I have a feeling those teams that I won with, they were home already, waiting for the team that left cause to play them. So that's why I think it went. I'm going to make sure of that. You know, those are the angles that I followed, and why I'm lucky enough to have some success in the MLB. But Philly's playing San Francisco tomorrow. Miami's going to San Diego. The Astros, who, listen, I've been on the Astros train the last 2 weeks with a lot of success, but the last couple days they have not. I laid off in the last 2 days because I lost 2 games before that. But they, they're tricky. But listen, Houston's still going to be there at the end. But they're going into Seattle to play. So that should be an interesting series. Seattle's home, Seattle's staying home. They just faced the Yankees. Now they got the Astros. St. Louis is going into Cincinnati. Nats are going to Atlanta. The Dodgers are coming here. Tyler McGill pitching tomorrow for the Mets. That guy's notorious for letting up runs in the first inning. You nerfy guys or run first innings, keep your eye on that. The Mets in general let up a lot of runs in the first inning or score runs. They're a good first inning team. Tyler McGill last year was letting up runs all the time first inning, so keep that in mind. And now the Guardians are going into Colorado, so I like that. A lot of good series starting tomorrow. Only 10 games, so maybe we will come on. I just talked myself into it. Maybe we will come on and do some MLB. Anyway, let DommyGun get out of here. Let me get you guys out of here. I appreciate all of yous. Love yous all. See you again tomorrow for another Light It Up. Thanks, guys.